Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. Hey, Ryan. If this is your first time tuning in, Kevin and I are challenging ourselves to find movies Ryan likes in the hopes that we'll reach a coveted 10 out of 10. You can join in on the conversation by sending us your movie suggestions for Ryan to podcast@filmpulse.net or by sending me a DM on Twitter @filmpulsenet. If you like the show, or even if you don't, consider checking out the Frederick's Ataxia Research Alliance website at curefa.org. Ryan, what did we have you watch this time?
Everybody wants them.
Everybody wants some. You wanted a comedy, so we gave you a recent comedy. This came out in 2016. It's written and directed by Richard Linklater. I have a synopsis here. In 1980, a group of college baseball players navigate their way through the freedoms and responsibilities of unsupervised adulthood. Ryan, get us started by telling us a little bit about Everybody Wants Some.
It's about a college baseball team and their first few days that they get to college before they get to class. And it's about their bonding experiences and their different friendships. And of course, one guy falls in love. It's not about anything in particular. It's about how, like, their different experiences, like I said.
Yeah. I think you said bonding experiences, but I thought you said body experiences. And I'm like, oh, that's a weird thing to say. Like, I thought you were referring to them like hooking up and stuff. Their body experiences.
They're exploring their bodies.
There was some body exploration happening there.
Yeah, there's a lot. If they were girls, Pam would call them sluts.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you could still call them a slut if they're, but I guess it is a sort of a double standard, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like I don't hear people call guys sluts, like it's not normal nomenclature.
No, because society has historically treated men who are sluts as sort of an accomplishment, whereas women who are sluts it's a bad thing.
Right, and in this movie they have a lot of accomplishments.
They have a lot of accomplishments.
Gotcha.
I see what you did there. Oh, that's great. So, if I remember correctly, you were a big fan of Dazed and Confused, right? You liked that.
Yeah, it was.
Now, this is Richard Linklater's sort of it's almost a pseudo sequel to that, right? Like Dazed and Confused takes place the last day of high school. This takes place the first day of college. So it's in a lot of ways, it's not the same characters or anything, but it's very much the same style of movie. It's structured very, very similarly.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual sequel.
Mm-hmm.
There are some characters that they're not the same characters, but they're the
Same archetypes. Yeah, exactly. There's like, you got your like pothead guys and your womanizers and the people that are like way too old to be with these people. Yeah, you have all those archetypes in there.
And the cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the angry guy.
Cool guy, angry guy.
You gotta have the angry guy. Gotta have him.
Well,
gotta have the hothead.
Man Affleck was that guy in this.
Yeah.
And in this one, there were a couple of different guys that got real angry at one thing or another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just let
But
anger
they weren't
issues.
really dickheads like Ben Affleck was.
Baseball also plays a role in both movies. A lot of the main characters in Dazed and Confused were baseball players. This is like a takes place largely in a house it's like student housing for the baseball team. So they all live together in a house on campus or off campus, I guess. And so what did you think of this overall?
Were there football in days?
No, it was baseball.
It's baseball.
Sure of them?
I'm 100% sure it was
Why you
baseball.
think? Yeah, why are you thinking football? I feel like the baseball thing is a pretty.
It's a yeah, it's a pretty
kind of like throughout.
it's a pretty big deal in Dazed and Confused. He's a baseball player. Remember after the game, the one of the big plot points was that they were trying to avoid getting paddled. So after the game, maybe he was a freshman in high school. It was the last day of school, but he was going to be a freshman in high school, I think. Right?
The long-haired kid that always touches his face.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
He was entering high school as a freshman.
All right, I don't know why I thought football.
So what did you think of Everybody Wants Some?
It was pretty good. I mean,
Pretty
it
good.
was very
That's-
similar to
Sounds kind of mild.
Confused, like I said. But not as good as Not I think.
I agree. I didn't think it was as good. I really enjoyed it though. And I feel like we don't have a lot of really solid comedies that come out these days. You know, you get a couple a year, maybe if you're lucky. And I feel like this was kind of a nice little throwback. I really enjoyed this movie.
I think that has more to do with the director being good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, an actual good director made a decent movie instead of just throwing out some blow-up garbage.
Yeah, that's true.
God.
Okay, so you said you didn't think it's as good as Dazed and Confused, and I agree with you on that. Were there any aspects of it that you can think of specifically that make this maybe a little weaker than Dazed and Confused?
It's just because I've seen it so many times. I thought the characters were more easy to identify and Dazed.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because
there's a lot more standout moments.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because I think one of the key differences, and there's a huge number of similarities between both movies, but one of the key differences is like in this movie, it really just follows this what's like 4 to 6 guys that live in this house, and that's pretty much it. In Dazed and Confused, you have a much larger ensemble. And I feel like the female representation in Dazed and Confused is much, much more well-rounded. Like you have female leads in that movie and you follow their story too, like Parker Posey's character. And in this, you really just follow the dudes around, which I thought was fine, but I liked the diversity in Dazed and Confused more because it ended up feeling more varied.
Yeah. Is it just
I like to see it. The girls were as big assholes the guys were.
Sure.
Was it an issue for you with Everybody Wants Some? The lack of women characters?
No, because the girl was in it mainly for the love story. Like, she didn't play a big part in the entire movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah. See, I think that could be an issue. I think that could be part of the issue for some people. That
I just didn't know if it was, it was for Ryan. It was just too many dudes, not enough variety in there.
But
Yeah.
if it was more girls, then it would have been more simpler to Dazed and Confused than it already is.
Gotcha.
One thing I like about these movies is the lack of a plot. Like there's not any like real conflict happening here. There's not much of a structure to it. It's not your traditional.
Yeah, it's just an aimless
Yeah, it just
comedy.
flows. It's just flowing from one scene to the next. There's no real like there's no end point. Like you can't see an end point happening. There's no
Yeah,
major conflicts
nothing,
going on. It's just,
nothing that they need to accomplish.
and I think that that's
Was
something that
a lack of plot a problem for you, Ryan?
No, not really, because like each part of the movie was all pretty much wrapped up in a good ending to each part of the story.
Gotcha.
So it was easily understood.
I think one of the things I like the most about this movie is that it doesn't feel like a movie from 2016. It feels like a much older movie. Now it was shot on digital, so it looked, glossy, but the opening, the intro credits and stuff felt very dated to me, how they had that like kind of 70s rock soundtrack with the sort of animated intro credits like scrolling across the screen. It just felt like more like a 90s comedy to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I thought that like the comedy in it itself felt it harkened back to previous decades. It wasn't really the same style that we know now, like the Apatow stuff.
Well, I have a question because normally when we talk about comedies, right, there's at some point in time, Brian talks about something made him laugh out loud. And I can't help but notice so far in talking about this movie, he has not mentioned that once. Did you, Ryan, laugh out loud during Everybody
Uh,
Wants Some?
I can't remember any specifics right now, but yeah, I did a few
Okay.
times.
Okay. But it wasn't there. They obviously weren't that memorable.
There, I just thought I wanted to went away real quick. It involved the
Marginally
main
memorable.
cool guy. It was something he said.
The main cool guy.
So
Yeah,
we're working with multiple cool guys.
Yeah, there was a couple cool guys.
Couple cool dudes.
like the whole star guy, the guy that was really good then. It was Fred Core. There's the one that he pitched us. Said something and I can't remember now what it was. But I remember laughing out loud when I heard it.
All right. Sounds like this movie really did the job. Hit that
It's
funny bone.
it's funny because I also can't recall.
You can't remember a goddamn thing from this movie. Can
No,
you?
I remember I remember certain things. I remember like the overall, the overall stuff with it.
Yeah.
I don't remember any specific jokes because it wasn't that type of movie where there was like this one outrageous set piece or anything like that. It was just more of like a
Yeah.
consistently funny movie where it was
It's just
a lot of smaller things.
it kind of sounds like they kind of capturing that feeling of hanging with your friends where like if you were from the outside of that group you'd be like this isn't funny,
Right.
this doesn't seem great, but you being a part of that group it's like oh my god this is the best day ever, we had so
But
much fun.
but also
And I like how they were all accepting of everyone. Oh, it was about they were making fun of the guy that thought he was fucking coming out the rewatch it. I know the part that's gonna bother me.
I think the cool guy you're talking about is Tyler Hoechlin, who played McReynolds. He was like the main cool guy, and I think he was the pitcher, because the other main guy, Jake, played by Blake Jenner, I think he was the freshman, but I think he was also a pitcher. And then Wyatt Russell played Willoughby. He was the one who turned out to be like 35 years old, which I thought was a pretty funny little plot line. Where it turned out that he was like an actual 35-year-old man who was pretending to be a college person so that he could play baseball.
Which is great because he's a catcher, which being 35, being a catcher, that's not, why would you do that? Like, your joints are fucking killing you.
Yeah.
Pick an easier position. Don't do that to your knees. You're 35 years old, man. They should have noticed every time he tried to get up.
He struggled.
Just like, oh, God.
Remember when they're at that club and that one guy says something and they all get kicked down? It was at that point.
I mean, they go to a lot of clubs in this, which actually brings up a good point, Ryan. Like, you said that like they're all accepting and stuff like that, and I think that's a really cool aspect of this. Like, there's a scene where they go to like this cowboy club, and then they go to this like punk club in one scene, and they are really accepting of just all of the different trends and things that were happening back then.
They just party with anybody.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of
looking to get down.
And that's the other thing. Like, they're pretty likable dudes. Like, you wouldn't think it from the offset because they're a bunch of jocks, you know, and you just think of them as being these college bros, but it's not quite like that. They're actually they're all pretty endearing characters.
This is the bonding experiences that Ryan was speaking about earlier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bonding.
There's a lot of bonding.
It's just the relationships, their acceptance, and the bonding. I see. I get it.
Have you seen this one yet, Kevin?
I have not.
You should definitely watch it.
I don't. You know, to be honest, you guys aren't selling it because it seems as though you guys can't remember anything from it outside of like they went.
I mean, no, I don't remember specific jokes, but it's been quite a while. It's been like 3 years since I've seen it. So.
I don't know. Ryan maybe laughed out loud. I'm pretty sure once.
It is funny.
Are you guaranteeing that I will laugh?
I think I could guarantee that you'll laugh.
Okay.
I think he'll laugh at least.
Put it on the list. It's in like the 300s of my queue. So we'll get there at some point in time.
All right.
Back in 7 years.
Kevin. But you'll watch like some half-star horror movie on Netflix that came out straight to VOD in like 2014 that no one's ever heard of.
That's not a decision that I make. I just happen to be in the room at the time that it happens. And I don't leave the room. I'm just like, okay, well, I guess this is what we're doing.
There's like all these great movies that come out every year. And Kevin's just like, oh, I saw what was that one? The
Terrifier, dude.
So Terrifier, or that horrible mockumentary. No, it wasn't a mockumentary. It was actually like a documentary from that one ghost hunting guy, Dead House, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Dude, I actually ended up seeing like an episode. I guess he has a show.
Yeah, he has a show.
Oh my God. I caught an episode of the show and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Those guys just are fucking committed to it. They try and sell it. Like they put their all into it. Man, there's something else.
I wrote a review for that movie and I gave it, I think I gave it a 0.5 out of 10.
It's fucking terrible. It's so bad.
Oh my God. Anyway, Any final thoughts, Ryan, before we give you a drum roll and everybody wants some?
It's funny, even though I'm not trying to not make people watch it. I'm trying to make people watch it. You'll
Gotcha.
laugh a lot. I just can't remember any specific jokes, but I do remember laughing a lot.
When did you watch this?
I first saw it like 3 years ago. Then this time watching Friday night.
Okay.
So it's fresh. It's pretty fresh.
It's fresh.
I had a terrible night. I can't even remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Oh man.
I can't. I was podcasting, but
That's all right. Okay. Ryan, what do you give Everybody Wants Some?
I'm gonna give it 8.5.
8.5.
What the fuck?
Wow.
That is not wow.
That's
I
an
mean,
8.5 out of 10.
the commentary that I was hearing was not indicative of 8.5. That was not what I was anticipating.
That's because I saw this before. I was more excited the first time I saw it.
So, what did
Well,
you
I guess,
initially rate it? Like a 9.5?
eh,
Was this a 10 at one point?
when I first saw it, I was putting on.
Damn.
I gave it an 8. I wrote a review for this on the site and I gave it an 8. So not too far
Wow.
off there, Ryan.
Incredible.
It's a good flick. Check it out. Everybody Wants Some. Any final thoughts? Or what do you want for next time, Ryan? What are you thinking in genre wise?
Christmas.
Oh, Christmas in Connecticut coming right up, bud.
No
Shush.
Christmas with the cranks.
No Christmas with the Cranks? No, I mean we're trying to give you something good. So I think I already know exactly what I'm going to give you too.
Oh shit.
I'll talk to you about it offline, Kevin. But
Please
man.
give me
I'm upset.
National Lampoon.
you're going to watch that already. The goal is to expose you to new things that you'll like.
I
Not
already
ones you
did
watch.
watch it.
You watch that shit like every year, probably multiple
Yeah.
times.
You probably already watched it like 5 times this year.
Oh,
It's
I
on
did
right now in
twice.
the other room, isn't it? I bet you any fucking
Oh,
money.
I
If you listen
did
close so we can hear it.
I watched it twice this year, so
Oh my god! I mean, it's a great movie, like without a
Love it.
doubt. I think it does deserve to get watched every year around Christmas, but
Definitely.
your love for it holds no bounds.
it doesn't.
All right, Christmas movie it is. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your picks for Ryan to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet, @filmpulsekevin, and @mylegsdon'twork. And if you have a minute, consider giving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you later.
See you later.